Don't look under the internet.
It happens when I poop too long, and like especially if I have my phone and I'm resting my like elbows on my legs, so eventually it like cuts circulation off.
I thought you were gonna say you take such big shits that your butthole goes numb.
That I lose feeling in my feet.
Cuts off
It's
circulation.
just such a shock to my system.
But anyway, welcome to Don't Look Under the
Longest
Internet.
cold open in a while.
Longest cold open ever. That's Doug.
Hey,
That's
how's it
Jason.
going?
Hello, hello.
And I'm Kanye West. I apologized.
Oh,
I apologize.
I apologize. and now it's all
immediately
okay.
demonetized.
Obviously, Mike's not here today. I'm sure that'll disappoint some.
Fired.
His
Yeah.
basement's on fire.
His sump pump is
he's-
also on fire.
Right. He's
Right.
just throwing things into his
Basement,
sump pump and
sump
seeing
pump.
if they burn. And
Oh yeah. I think he filled it
He's
with
got a-
CLR.
What if there was something like a sump pump, except instead of water, it sucked out the fire?
Like a fucking airlock? Like
so,
in your
a-
house?
so like
I don't know,
instead
man.
of you're
I
saying
think I
like a
just
fire
invented something
extinguisher,
Crazy.
a fire extinguisher where instead of introducing water to the equation, you're removing the fire. Why haven't they thought of this
Removing
before?
oxygen. Just
Yeah,
We would
Just
never have
suck all
fires
the
anymore.
oxygen out of the house.
It also kills everyone inside.
but,
I mean,
but at least the
it
fire
would
doesn't
put
spread.
the fire out.
Oh,
You're not
Jesus
wrong.
Christ.
Just a
Anyway.
panic button. You're like, remove the oxygen.
Your eyeballs just implode from the pressure change.
It just, yeah,
Fuck!
it just creates a vacuum inside your home.
Yeah. Fire's out though.
I
Crazy.
think
Christ.
we should go on Shark Tank and pitch this, is what I think.
Yeah.
Housekeeping this week. There's nobody to shout out, but Patreon and the website and that shit. We're changing the content over there. We may make some changes, more changes later in the year, but what we're doing for now is 1 episode a month. Everybody's going to get that, and it's going to be random stuff that we found on the internet or a topic for the week that is loosely related to what we talk about. And then a second episode every month that just $10 people will be getting will be SCP. We're kind of bringing SCP back, but it's not going to be audio drama like it was before. It's going to be, if you listen to our March Monsters stuff from a few years ago, it's going to be kind of like that, except it's not going to be like a whole tournament.
Yeah.
Basically, the idea is each one of us is going to pick an SCP and then come to the episode and try to explain our SCP and argue about why our SCP is obviously the best.
Yeah.
And
It's
so,
show and tell, but with violence.
yeah, because of that, the thing we might do is we may do alternate months where it's like SCP 1 month, and then we do the same thing with cryptids where we each pick a cryptid, because there's just not enough to make a whole episode out of. But 4 maybe. Who's to say? Give us $10 and
Yeah.
find out. Oh, other thing. You may have noticed for the last few weeks that the episodes have been slightly shorter. That's not because we're recording shorter topics or less stuff. The recordings have been the same length, but we've been cutting them down a little bit more, removing some of the extra bullshit and whatnot. So some people
Sorry.
prefer just hearing the rambling and stupid shit. But we've also heard from a pretty vocal set of people who have asked us to trim them down too. So let us know what you like or don't like in the Spotify comments. Give us feedback. Let us know what your favorite color is. I don't know. Just
New year, new Matt.
yeah, it's all up for grabs. So speaking of cryptids, we have a cryptid sort of named Philip this
Yeah.
week.
Hey,
in a way,
the transition is also equally bad, so you're
Yeah,
killing it.
perfect.
Technically.
Killing it, man.
that
It's like
was
Mike
going to
is
be
here
way
with us.
smoother in my head. I was going to have like a build up. I was like, cryptids are like made up things, and sometimes those things have names. And sometimes those things' names are Philip. Maybe I'll use that one.
You got
But,
there.
Yeah. See, I experimented with my intro.
There it is. There's the bird scooter.
Nailed it.
We're doing the Philip experiment this week, everybody. Boys, where do we start? If not the beginning, right?
If not the
Right.
beginning. God, you're killing it, man. It's
I got
It's like
this.
Matt's not
I
even
got
here,
this.
and
Yeah.
Mike's right there.
I
It's
pay
fucking
attention.
crazy.
So it all begins in
Thanks,
1972 in Toronto. So Canadian place, cold. That really has nothing to do with it at all. A mathematic guy named George Owen. So this guy was a professor of mathematics and also a physiologist, I think. And boy, that George Owen had some interesting hobbies. Like I said, he was a mathematician, and he teamed up with this guy who was a psychologist named Dr. Joel Witten. And together, they came up with an idea. So, a little bit of background about George Owen. He claims that early in his life, he had some experiences with the paranormal because he and his mom would hear some shit in their house. And he says he had pretty much just like a passing interest in the paranormal for a long time until like the late 60s, and he got really fucking into it. And he decided he was going to become the world's foremost expert on poltergeists. So he did a bunch of stuff in his free time and investigated a bunch of stuff. I think he went to Ireland at one point and like did some sort of poltergeist investigation. And he basically developed some sort of like a reputation as being an expert in his field. So he meets this psychologist named Dr. Joel Witten, and like I said, they came up with an idea. So this idea was basically to do an experiment involving a seance. So he got a bunch of people together, and he tried to pick people from different backgrounds. So like an industrial designer, a housewife, an accountant, like a college student, and a few other people that had like different backgrounds. And some of these people were skeptics and some of these people weren't. And so the idea was pretty simple. They were going to contact a person from beyond the grave, as you do in a seance. So they got all these people together and they made a plan to have these regular meetings where they try to contact a spirit by speaking out loud to it and like discussing details about its life. So they would like sit around the table and they would say things like, "Hey, remember your girlfriend from the 3rd grade?" People don't have girlfriends in the 3rd grade. I don't know. 8th grade?
I don't know what the kids do these days,
Yeah.
man.
Right. And so they focused on one person. And this person was named Philip Aylesford. But here is the catch.
Philip!
Mr. Philip didn't exist. So the purpose of this seance was actually to basically see what would happen if you stuck a bunch of people in a room and had them try to contact someone from beyond the grave, knowing full well that the person they're trying to contact doesn't exist. So they made up a bunch, like Dr. Owen and his psychologist friend made up a bunch of details about Philip's life and had all these people like just start saying things about Philip. And I think Doug has some information about some of those things, about this made-up Philip individual.
Made up Philip. Not
Yeah.
real Philip.
So you're probably wondering who is not real Philip. So basically, he's the character that was created and agreed upon. His name was Philip Aylesford, and obviously they just referred to him as Philip during the test. His fictional history partially coincides with like actual events and places, but with like lots of like contradictions and errors to real history. He was born in 1624 in England. He had an early military career and was knighted by the age of 16, which I feel like I don't know much about how you get knighted, but it feels like you
Yeah,
have to be doing some crazy shit at the age of 16 to get knighted.
Yeah, what do you do? Like beat an Indian kid in chess? Is that how you get
Kill
knighted
fit
at
him in.
16?
One of those two things,
One of those two
but
things.
nothing else.
I guess he was also involved in the English Civil War and became personal friends with Charles II, working for him as a spy. Philip was unhappily married to a woman named Dorothea and later fell in love. Unhappily married. He went into it being real not happy about
Just
it.
fucking bitter. Like, we know this is gonna suck.
I hate this woman, but for some reason, we have to get married.
I feel like I've known more than one person who has had to have said that exact same thing. And then
I feel like that explains a lot of marriages,
It has
to be
to,
fair, but
right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
neither here nor there, I guess. But yeah, so he was unhappily married, and then he found that or he fell in love with a Romani girl that was accused of witchcraft and ended up being burned at the stake. But
Oh.
in his despair because of this, he committed suicide in 1654 at the ripe old age of 30. So that's our Philip. That is the man whomst in which these experiments are based upon and to
Again,
contact.
not real,
again,
No,
right? This
he's
is
not
this is
real.
all just
None of this happened.
This is a
We made it
world
up.
building exercise to
It's
create a
fiction.
Philip.
didn't happen.
It's fiction. Never
Made it.
happened. Our writers made it up. I fucking love that. Anyways, so yeah,
So what
that
happened?
is who. Well, that's a great question, Matt. Thank you for asking. So basically, for like almost a year, this team sat around a table, and in very true to seance fashion, they tried to have a seance. They tried to contact this guy in a very nonchalant way. I mean, when you think of a seance, you think of, sitting around a table, holding hands, calling out, asking for, signs of life, stuff like that. Very by the books. And they really had no success. There was really nothing that came to fruition when they were doing this. They just sat around and they were like, had their thumbs up their butt, essentially.
Where do I sign up for
So
these
after
experiments?
just text me. Basically after a couple months of that, they decided that they were going to switch up their tactic. The sessions became a bit more relaxed and playful. They started joking around and singing songs, and basically they encouraged like emotional engagement for the seance instead of like a scientific detachment from it, right? So
Mhm.
as soon as they changed up this tactic, they started to report like weird phenomena, table raps, knocks, phenomena,
Phenomena.
boop, 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 boop. Yeah. So
This is what's gonna derail us.
I know, I'm like, I really want to keep going, but I can't.
I know, and Matt's just poking the bear. Just
Phenomenal.
boop.
Do something. But yeah, so change of pace. They start doing all that stuff, and they start getting table raps and knocks in response to questions that they're asking. The table tilts and moves. They're getting some forms of communication using yes and no knocks. And apparently, the lights were allegedly starting to flicker on and off. Now, Philip appeared to respond intelligently, answering questions about his fictional life while refusing to answer questions that he would never know, as far as like made up Philip goes. And no full body apparition was ever reported. So one thing I want to talk about real quick is there's like videos of this, like full blown, like they
Yeah.
recorded the sessions of this experiment. And when I tell you how fucking, I don't know if what the right word to use is like silly or stupid, but one of those two descriptors is what you're going to witness when you watch those videos.
Why not both?
I feel like
looks-
the videos need the Benny Hill theme song.
Yeah, it
yes,
looks like
absolutely.
just the immediate vibe of it makes it look like it's a parody of the 70s from like a modern movie, you know what I mean? Like something you would see on a VHS or something.
Oh yeah, it's
I
silly
keep
is
waiting
a
on
very
Ratman to
correct
show
way.
up.
Yes. It's that kind of
Yeah.
underdeveloped.
It's I don't even know like how I'm trying to explain this, but basically it's what I imagine some like teenagers at a like a sleepover using a Ouija board are doing.
Oh
You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's like exactly my thought process on what I was
It's
witnessing when I watched
moving.
that video.
You're moving it. Right. Like it's just
Well, there's one clip. There's really one clip that got me really good, and it's where the table like turns sideways, and it's just like there's a guy at the end of the table, and you just see him like push down. I don't
right.
know.
Like
Maybe I'm just a hater, but like,
well,
I do like the topic. I thought it was an interesting story, but I just thought it was really silly because they're all like, "Whoa!" like, yeah. So, but yeah. Anyways, Jason, what do you got for us?
well, I mean, you would think that something like this would elicit some kind of long-term effect. Like if you were to come into an actual instance of talking with the supernatural, or especially one that you and everyone around you, literally every single person at the table and in the room knew that the thing that they were trying to contact was not real. Like I need to I need to stress that everybody there knew that what they were doing was a giant
But
game
but
of
some people were still
make
convinced that it
believe.
was real, which is like, how do you
The
start
journalists
off?
especially.
How do you start off knowing? And
Well,
then,
that's I think that's the experiment itself is literally so like you guys said, for the course of a year, they would try different methods of contacting this made up Philip, or fictional Philip. Um, and they'd sometimes wouldn't get things, and sometimes they would get a little bit of something. I literally think it's just like positive, like manifestation kind of. So everyone in the room wanted to contact this Philip they'd spent a year trying to contact. You know what I mean? They
yeah,
all knew it was made up, but holy shit, how cool would it be if there was some kind of response? And then one person at the table made the response happen. And then another person there latched onto that idea saying, like, okay, cool, I like this, so I'll play along and try to like hype it up a little bit because otherwise everything we're doing is for nothing. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like if
So,
given those two options of make shit happen or it's a failure,
which I guess gets into the idea of like, does a tulpa a thing, or can it just be this idea that you've all
it's an
agreed on?
idea.
It's like your collective thinking of this thing brings it to reality in some way.
Right.
It's a collection of mental energy, technically. So like, as long as enough people mentally believe in the thing that you're talking about, regardless if it's real or fake, it doesn't really matter. The tulpa begins to exist, right? Like you
Yeah.
have enough people being like, this is the thing we're doing, this is the shared mentality that we now have. And I guess if you get that many people in a room with that shared mentality, I mean, who knows? Like, we don't have a way to measure mental energy, right? Like, in the
Yeah.
sense where you could just be like, have a meter in a room and be like, wow, you guys are off the charts.
You guys
Like,
are thinking about the same shit a lot. Like
you see this tulpa?
it reminds me of string theory, like how you can't really you're not going to see it happening, but like we can measure, like you can measure the temperature of a room, right? Like if there's just some tension in a room, like you don't have to know any context. You walk into that room and you know something's fucked up. Like you know something is not right.
Yeah.
And that kind of
Yeah.
preys on string theory that like the smallest of emotions can affect everybody around you. And that's again, I think that weaves into tulpas, which are again like they're usually characterized as like a strong set of emotions, and the ones we read about and hear about are usually like negative to portray the more like horror aspect of it. But I think in urban myth, tulpas can be from like extreme sadness or extreme joy or like whatever, and it's a collective group think where everyone gets on the same page.
Really good example is Slender Man.
Yeah,
Like, the story came out, and then within months, people in real life are starting to see sightings of Slender Man and shit. It's like even like that's why I said it doesn't necessarily have to be like a negative energy. It just went viral.
right.
Like it was
Yeah.
the collective internet. Like millions of people all of a sudden just know about this thing that doesn't exist, and now we have in real life sightings of something that
Now it
hasn't
kind
existed
of
before this
does.
time. Yeah, so it's fun to think about. I like it.
On what Jason was saying, I don't believe in God or like spirits or anything like that, really. But the one thing that seems like it could be something that hasn't really been explained or maybe can't be explained is the possibility that there is some sort of psychological wavelength that we can't detect or haven't detected that is like, I'm not saying like telepathy, but like you were saying, how you can walk into a room and just like know the vibe is off.
Yeah.
Like, is there
Yeah.
some sort of aura or something that we put out, like some
It's
sort of blue, like
it's almost like
like
you can detect
vibe
the amount of
Bluetooth?
cortisol.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It literally, it's like you recognize that someone's like their fucking hackles are up, or like their cortisol levels and their blood is spiked, or like is that like a pheromone reaction that
Right.
we can sense that we just don't detect?
Yeah, I
There's
guess
something that
it
we
could be
can do.
pheromones or something like that.
Vibe Bluetooth. I love it. I feel like there's an X-rated version of that already.
Oh yeah,
I was gonna call it social, like a social contagion or something, because like when you like, I don't know, I think Jason can attest to this, but like remember back like 5-6 years ago, we'd all get together and like be in the party mode, and then like
Yeah.
Mike would
everybody's
show up.
chill, and then well, no, Mike would never show up. We'd all be chilling. Mike is showing up to a party. What the fuck are you talking about? But like that demeanor kind of changes over the course of the night, where like someone gets like kind of wild, and then like
Yeah.
everybody kind of gets wild with
Yep.
them, and then like it's
Yep.
like monkey see, monkey
It's like a
do.
fever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then everybody's just vibing and having a good time, and like I mean, alcohol is obviously a factor in those kind of situations,
Oh,
but like
100%.
but
that's the
still,
group
it
thing.
feels like contagious. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
sometimes it's not. It's the opposite way. Everybody's having a good time, and in the videos for this, they're having a good fucking time.
somebody
Oh my god.
they're passing the vibe
funny.
box.
I mean, it's. I mean, like if you're part of this group think, all it takes is like let's say there's 12 people, right? All it takes is one or two people who like they enjoy the idea of being a part of this collective. Even if it's just 12 people and there's no special reason to be a part of it, it's still a group that they're a part of. And if they enjoy it enough, that can also cause them to subconsciously try and like amplify any kind of effects that are happening, thus convincing more people that it is happening. And then they would also then start contributing to making it more apparent. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's mob
Right.
mentality.
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly. That's a better way to describe exactly what I was trying to say. I think mob mentality.
Like you want to fit in. You want to make sure you're part of the group.
Right. Which
Right.
okay, so real or fake time. Do you think either A, Philip was real in some way and they accidentally conjured him, or B, they created a tulpa? Either one of those is a real.
I was gonna determine what true and false was, but it's fine. I got it. I understood.
Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Tulpa.
Fake. Yeah.
Yes, whatever the tulpa
Yeah.
one is.
Fake.
I think that logic didn't work.
Okay,
But
so
that's
maybe
fine.
we didn't understand.
No, we didn't understand.
I didn't
So we think it's a
understand.
Okay, so how about we do
Okay,
this? All right,
but here's the thing,
Matt,
though, like,
explain yourself.
so I'm still not clear on when we say tulpa. Is a tulpa just a thought, or is it like an actual manifestation of something that thought into existence in some degree?
All right, here.
I
Hold on,
think
then.
it's
I
both.
got you.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
Because
go
if you
ahead.
look up the definition of tulpa, it's a
I
materialized
Googled it.
being.
Yeah, okay, you
It's
got
a
it.
materialized being or thought form, typically in human shape, that
Oh.
is created through spiritual practice and intense concentration. Which means that if everybody thinks hard enough, they actually birth an entity that has some sort of physical presence.
To me, it references literally if there's 12 people in a room and 7 of those people start to get like upset about something, the other 5 are probably also eventually going to be upset about that something. And like, if you're passionate enough about something and you convince the other people that it's around, they're all going to start thinking that it's real. And now everyone's looking for it. And because we're humans and we're really good at finding patterns, we're going to find those patterns that allow us to think that what we've done is actually create a real thing, which in reality is just kind of the definition of reality. So it's really just a matter of how you want to look at what that is. Does that make sense?
No. Not at all.
Perfect.
Because I think so. Like with the tulpa,
Mhm.
yeah, I think like even one person can, in the traditional sense of the word, I think even one person can think hard enough to make a tulpa become.
So, I think by definition, Matt, this situation may be a thought form as opposed to a tulpa, because I think what you want is the physical presence of Philip,
Yeah.
which we
Well,
didn't get.
That's not what I want. What I'm saying really was my original question, which is for something to actually be a tulpa, does it have to actually take a, because traditionally, yes, it actually has to take a physical form. But
Yeah.
is the idea that collectively people have influenced each other to the point where there's this collective idea that is having a real physical impact on the world because it's a shared experience, is that good enough to say that that idea is a tulpa, because now it has become a real thing in the sense that like it's an idea that's having a real impact
That's shared.
on
Yeah.
it's
So
not necessarily the shared aspect of
Okay.
it so much as it is the power that it gains over people, like Slender Man.
Or it's like almost like a crazed, but that would also explain, like that would also be something that you could look at when you talk about the real world killings that happened around Slenderman. I don't like
That's
no
what
one
I'm
likes
saying.
talking about them because they fucking suck, but like that is that's literally we know Slenderman's not real, but
Right.
to several people at least it was.
Right. And so is that enough to say that it's a tulpa? Because whether it actually is a being with its own consciousness or anything almost feels irrelevant because it's having a real effect on the world, even if it's not real. But then you also have to consider that like our brains are real, right? We see a person, an individual's brain, as a real thing. Maybe a tulpa can be a collection of people that are all thinking the same as part of the entity. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? Does that make any sense?
It's
as if
it's turtles all the way down.
Like our brains are the neurons in the tulpa's brain. Like if we're all experiencing this collective thing and we're working together on this thought, are we just a big brain that's thinking for this thing? Does that make sense at all? Is what I'm saying.
I feel like there's like a third thing that we need a vocabulary word for that fits this that we don't have yet. Like it's like right in the middle of thought form and tulpa, but we don't know what to call it because we're the thing.
Well, it's like one of your friends stops believing in Santa, right? Like when you were super young, and very quickly the rest of you stopped believing in Santa. Santa's a fucking tulpa.
Okay, but that's like an entity dying, right? Like your liver fails and you die.
Technically.
So that maybe that guy stopping believing in Santa was an organ failing in the tulpa.
But how does this factor in though? Wasn't Santa like based on a real dude though? Like how does that work?
Well, okay, so can you base tulpas on real things? So like
I mean technically yeah, we
so?
this in this instance the tulpa is a fake real dude.
A fake person named Philip.
Like people are real.
We're not talking about Philip anymore now. This is about Santa.
No, seriously,
yeah, no. So
might as well be the same thing.
Saint Nick, good old Saint Nicholas.
Well, okay, so like maybe
Philip Nicholas.
See, so Santa is a tulpa where everybody who still believes in Santa Claus is a neuron or an organ in the tulpa known as Santa. And if you stop believing
Correct.
in Santa, you leave the organism, and that limb of the organism dies, and so you're no longer part of the organism. It's like, so, okay,
So it
but
gets-
I think I just argued my way into a case for the existence of God, which I'm not comfortable with, so I think
I
we should
found
just
the
end the
word.
episode.
I didn't think
okay.
this was going to be the
Yeah,
episode for
'cause
the
I-
existential breakthrough.
Because I just realized that by my own argument, God is real, because all of everybody that believes in God
because
is
enough people
God.
believe it.
Yeah.
I just typed in "is Santa" in Google first and foremost, and it autofilled is the first thing is a tulpa. I'm not going to. I don't know if I'm going to say this word right, but it's basically what the Googles has told me was that Santa is often referred to as a tulpa or an egregore, which is
But his name's
basically
Chris, not Gregory.
a concept. You're right. Basically, it is an autonomous, non-physical thought form or a collective energy field created and sustained by shared beliefs, emotions, and focused attention of a group of people.
It's an egregore?
Well, this phenomenon is known as an egregore.
This is great content. So it's just
Egregore.
saying a word we
Egregore.
don't know.
I just,
Egre-
I just also listened to it.
Egregore.
Hey, Gregory.
E. Gregory.
Egregore.
E. Gregory Kringle.
I like that better.
Wow. Okay, but that I feel like that word is exactly like what we were looking for as far as like what happened.
It's an egregor. It's an E. Gregory. It's like an E girl, but specifically for dudes
So-
named Gregory.
Okay, so real or fake? So,
The
do we have
tale of
anything else?
Philip E. Gregory.
Do we have anything else? To
I
say
think
about
we've
it?
devolved.
Well,
We're talking
I
about
was-
Santa
I was
being a
gonna-
tulpa at this point. I don't know.
I wanted to talk about one last thing because we haven't even talked about the whole point of the experiment for the most part.
Oh yeah,
Right.
you're not
Yeah,
wrong.
it was to see what
So,
would happen if
the
you
whole
put a bunch of
point-
people in a room and tried to contact the thing that didn't exist.
My thought, my question to you two is: does this prove anything about ghosts because they were trying to do a séance, or
No.
just being able to talk to energies and spirits, or B, do we think that those people like were lying, or do we think that they actually believed that they were hearing and seeing the things that they were like that were happening?
I think people are really
See, I don't-
impressionable, and I think a significant chunk of the people
Yes.
actually believed what they were experiencing, even though I don't think it was real. But
Especially if several people brought it up, and they would then look dumb for counteracting the group, like as a whole.
yeah, some
'Cause
people
people are
might have just been
definitely
Like you
going
could sit them
you are-
down.
Yeah, it's like there's.
No, I agree.
What was that experiment? Some dude walked into an elevator. A bunch of like people
Mm-hmm.
that were paid were in there, and they all turned around to face the opposite direction. And pretty much every single person would follow suit, even if it made no sense to like face the fucking wall of the elevator. They still did it.
You also got to
They're like,
consider
fuck
that.
People are
Gary.
just super impressionable.
You also got to consider that this is 1972, and like, so people. I feel like the likelihood of people being influenced to this degree in this type of setting in 1972 is a lot higher than today. I think because today we're constantly exposed to people who do fake shit like this and have like a historical record of people doing this type of fake shit. People are a lot less likely to be influenced by this type of thing. In 1972, this is probably fucking crazy, dude.
Oh yeah,
I feel like this would have been
I'm sure there
crazy
was
in
a reason to spell the
1990 for
rage.
people, to be quite honest.
Anyway, this episode's over, so you should
Tell
go.
something.
You should go touch grass.
Yeah, we have to announce it. It's time to go.
Right. Yeah. Doug, is there anything you want to say?
This is a shorty, but no, this is shorty, but a goodie. And by that I mean slap your beans and your beans together. I forgot I had to do a sign off. Actually, just think about slapping your peens and your beans together, and then have someone else do it, and then have another person do it, and then a couple more people do it, and then maybe you might feel some beans on your beans
Hell yeah.
without actually having to, pull them out in public.
Yeah.
Penises and penises all the way down.
Pulpa dick. Jason, what do you got?
Oh,
stay paranoid. If somebody thinks about your dick too much, it might turn into a negatively charged emotional dick that dissociates from your body and haunts a family forever.
Can I pick what family?
Can we do one last thing?
Okay.
Oh no.
Can we make a tulpa right now
Like,
and hope that all 20 of our listeners will bring this thing into existence? We don't know if Mike's going to hear this episode, so for all of you listening, we'll describe this thing real quick to get the needed details. But everybody listening, when you go to bed tonight, make sure you think about it so that while Mike's in his home, this thing haunts the fuck out of him. Okay, thank you.
it looks like a slimy version of one of those little clown things that you throw balls at carnivals, the little fuzzy clown cutouts.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that
You
a lot.
know what I'm talking about?
I forget what those are called. I think they're called punks or something. But yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
The things that,
I don't know what you're talking about, so I don't know if this is a very effective.
You like
used to
throw the
shoot,
ball,
like,
and it's like a row of clowns and like
Fuzzy
they, like, fall
clowns. They
over
look like
and then-
bowling pins, right?
Oh,
hold on, I got
yeah,
it.
I know
I'll
what you're
just do it.
talking about.
Cool.
Okay.
That's what Mike's. That's the tulpa. That's the physical description. Is something like that. Is what I feel anyway.
Okay.
How do we work in the Crunchwrap Supreme part of it?
The Crunchwrap part, though.
And is he holding Crunchwrap Supremes? Is he
Well,
in between
I just hope
the
that-
Crunchwrap?
I hope in the future, every one of our listeners, anytime they have a Crunchwrap Supreme, will have Big Chungus Wrap Supreme in their mind's eye to just be terrified, because the thing that I'm thinking of right now is not a good thing. It's not a fun entity.
I'm kind of thinking
You're
that
fucked, Mike.
I'm kind of thinking that it is one of these things, like one of these faces, but it's like attached to a very large slimy Crunchwrap Supreme. Is what I'm thinking. And then it
I
just
like
like
that too.
slides across the floor, like in a trail of its own nacho cheese.
It's like kind of shitting out like a little bit of lettuce and cheese when it walks.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Very good.
Just kind of shitting out it.
Yeah,
Just
right,
a little
right,
shit.
right.
A little
Just
bit.
a little trail. Right.
It's that like little bit that falls out when you're like trying to like take it out of the wrapper and you're like, son of a bitch. Like,
Right. Yeah, Mike's just perpetually finding that in his house.
yeah, that's the
God,
horror,
I
the
hope
true
so.
horror.
Right.
If
A
we
little
start
cheese
hearing
here
about
and
an
there.
overabundance of like rotten lettuce found behind like floorboards and shit,
Anyway,
this
Hopefully we
episode's done,
can
right?
tulpa
Like, this
his
is
head.
so
Yeah.
wildly over. It's not
No,
even fucking
we're
funny.
done. We're done. Okay. All right, we're out of here.
Don't look under the internet.